Hey YouTube, today we're doing some IKEA research before building a new display cabinet to display our larger models, so let's dive right in. Hey guys, and welcome to Brick Talk TV. Terry here, and in today's episode we're on the hunt for a new cabinet to help display some Lego pieces. You may remember a previous video where we covered tables that are suitable for Lego cities, and I'll put a card up here for those that are interested to view that video. But today we're looking for something that would be big enough to display the USC Millennium Falcon and other large models that I've built over the last few weeks. You can see behind me that I've got the Kallax display shelves, which are great for displaying smaller models, and I've modified it to allow me to display wider sets as well by removing every other intersection that they had in the original display. But now I'm looking for something that will allow me to put some of the larger sets, such as the Batmobile and the Batwing, into some more display pieces, just to tidy up some of the Lego room and things that are going on. So I'm looking for something a bit larger and more versatile, so I can also adjust the shelving over time as I add new sets and as I want different configurations for displays. So I did find something that I think might work, so let's flip over now to the IKEA website and take a look. Okay, so let's take a visit on the IKEA website. Just accept this, go to the UK version. So what I'm trying to look for is the Platsa and what I'm looking for is the Platsa network that they have, or system of storage units in IKEA. And these are slightly bigger, they seem, from what I've done with some research. And what I'm going to be looking at is actually, I've taken a look at the Millennium Falcon, and it measures 83 centimetres by 60 centimetres wide. And so that's kind of my my minimum expectation, is to be able to at least position the Millennium Falcon flat on top of this cupboard. And I have done a previous video on the Millennium Falcon actually, where I've used the angled display units so I can angle it to save some space. But actually it would be quite nice to be able to display it flat so that I can get some better views of it. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So I'm just going to try and use the Millennium Falcon measurements of 83 centimetres by 60 centimetres as my rough guide. And I'm kind of happy if it's displayed on top of the unit. So if the unit's slightly smaller, then I'll display it just on top of the unit and not actually inside the shelves, which would be slightly smaller. But that's the minimum requirement from my point of view in terms of the size and size of the sets that I want it to be able to display. But then also the space available for me, as you can see in this picture here, has a max width of around 80 centimetres, and I can't have it taller than 1.1 metres due to some structural restrictions here in the loft. So I need to bear that in mind. So in terms of the minimum requirements, I'm kind of looking at 60 centimetres by 80 centimetres, and the max I'm looking at 80 centimetres by 1.1 in height. So let's take a look at these units on the website, and let's see which one we think might be the best. And then I'll go and get that unit, and then I'll construct it, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. And we'll put the Millennium Falcon on, and maybe some potential new sets that I may stick in there, such as putting the Batmobile in there, and we'll see what it kind of looks like at the end of this video. So let's take a look at this website. So as you can see, the Platsa has a variety of different units that you can buy and construct. They're just plain boxes, but as you can see on this picture here, there are some pre-drilled holes along this side here where you can actually insert the shelves, and you buy the shelves separately, and so you can actually configure the height of these shelves in any which way you like, so you can kind of get the most. If you've got particularly tall sets, you can have a higher shelf. If you've got lots of small sets, you can have narrow shelves. So I kind of like the idea of being able to not have to have uniform shelf heights like we do with the Kallax behind me, which is structured in a way where you have to have that kind of rigid heights. So this seems like quite a good option in terms of giving me more flexibility, and maybe over time I can change how it's configured. So let's take a look. I mean, I think so. These first ones here are 1.8 meters tall. So as I mentioned already, 1.1 is probably my maximum because I have an iron bar going at an angle down, and the highest point really is probably about 1.1. So as much as I'd kind of like to have these tall ones, these ones aren't going to cut it. This little one on its own here is too small. So I'm going to discard this first row. This one here, 35, may fit. It's 1.2 meters, so it's slightly, might be too tall, but maybe we should remeasure that. It's got the depth and the width. The Millennium Falcon is probably going to hang over the edge of this one, but it's still a possibility because, as I said, I don't mind sticking the Millennium Falcon on the top rather than actually sticking it in a shelf. So that might be a possibility. Let's have a look further down here. There's also see pre-structured shelving that you can either have standalone or actually slot inside, which is quite interesting. I think I'll just get separate shelves. And these are then accessories that you can add. So you can see here's some shelves. So these ones will probably be too big. These would be for larger units. So you've got to check the measurements to make sure that the shelves you buy are the right size. So I'll probably buy 2 of these shelf units, not this measurement, but whatever measurement we decide to buy. So I've got options of 2 shelves to start with, and maybe we can work from that, and I can buy some more in the future if I need some more. But in terms of looking at the units, taking a look at these, which are mainly all doors and drawers and things now, I think the best overall unit for my purpose is probably going to be this one. There's a nice video here of a lady constructing it. So the construction looks particularly easy. You've just got various clutch elements you need to put in together and then just push into place. So it looks really simple. So what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to double check these measurements, and then I'm going to go and purchase this unit, and then I'm going to construct it fast forwarded, and then we're going to fill it up in this video so you can see what it looks like with some pieces put in place. Okay, so this is the space where we're going to put the new cabinet. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to quickly construct it in a fast forward style, and then we'll see what it looks like afterwards. So I've got a bit of clutter to move out of the way first, so we can get better and more organised in this Lego room. So let's speed on now and let's get it constructed, and then we'll slow down to fill it up. Okay, so now we've actually constructed this unit, and you can see that I've got 3 spaces on the top now to put this thing together. So let's start filling it up, and we'll put the Millennium Falcon on top, and then some of the Batmobile and the Batwing in here as well, and we'll see what they look like. So here we go. We've actually now positioned 3 models into the cabinet now. So I managed to get the Millennium Falcon in. I hope you were all nervous when I was bringing that in on the camera a minute ago, because it was a bit tight bringing it up the stairs and around the corners. But now she's in place. The minifigures here along with the pack. Then I've put the Batmobile and the next shelf down. I was actually hoping to see if I could actually fit the Batmobile next to the Ecto 1, but I don't think I'm going to have room to do that. But we'll see when I finish the construction of Ecto 1 whether I can just straighten up the Batmobile maybe and put them next to each other. And then we've got the Batwing at the bottom in the middle shelf there as well. So that now tidies up some of that space that I had where I had to put them on the floor in the Lego room for a short period. And then we've got 1 space at the bottom, which I'll probably fill up with future models as we go, maybe some Ninjago sets, and maybe I'll change up some of the other displays that we've got. But I'm pretty happy with this unit now. It managed to fit the Millennium Falcon in. I do have the overhang, but I was expecting that anyway, but the feet were able to position nicely on top of the unit. If I was to buy again, I probably would get the slightly wider one if I could, and I've probably got a bit more height to play with, but I probably would have had to sacrifice the Millennium Falcon on top. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with that, and we'll probably
make it look a bit better and add more models and maybe some lights and stuff in the future. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. So let's flip back now and we'll summarise in the studio.
So that construction was fun. And now we have a cabinet that's full of Legos, or at least started to be full of Legos, and we'll add more to that as we go and probably tweak the configuration. But I've managed now to find a home for the Falcon at last, and it's not stuck in a random bedroom in the rest of the house. So overall, I think I would definitely recommend this unit for anybody looking to tidy up their Lego collection. And I'll stick a link in the description below to the particular unit that I purchased, as well as the rest of the Platsa system, if you're interested in looking at how it may work for your Lego display. Again, I like the fact that the system allows you to configure the shelving in any which way you like. So you've got the options of changing the height for particular set heights. It's also quite good in terms of the space it provides for larger sets. And of course, I'm limited here in my Lego room with the space I've got available, but you may have some more space than me. So you can get some of the larger units, which may help you display some of the larger, bulkier sets, such as the Hogwarts or maybe the Diagon Alley in terms of the length, if you want to display that in one place. So hope you found this video useful. If you did, hit that like button and smash the subscribe button with the bell notification turned on to be notified of future Lego room developments as they happen on this channel. And until next time, stay safe and I'll see you then.